Hello, I'm Wei Jian. I'm one of the archaeologists involved in the excavation of the Juyan Han Jian. The Juyan Han Jian were first discovered over 90 years ago. In 1927, Swedish archaeologist Folke Bergman joined the Sino-Swedish Northwest Scientific Expedition led by Swedish explorer Sven Hedin and Xu Xusheng, the Dean of Peking University. In 1930, over 14,000 wooden slabs were unearthed in the northwest frontier of the Han Dynasty. Because these slabs, known as Jian in Chinese, were mostly found in the territory of the Juyan Commandery, they were named the Juyan Han Jian. So far, more than 40,000 Han Jian have been discovered in the Juyan region. These also serve as the largest collection of Han Dynasty texts in Chinese history, apart from the records of the Grand Historian and the Book of Han. They allow us to appreciate the calligraphy written over 2,000 years ago during the Han Dynasty and are regarded as precious documents for studying the development history of this time-honored Chinese art form. As calligraphy enthusiasts, it is important for us not to only understand the history behind these texts, but also appreciate the effort it took to discover these valuable cultural relics. The Juyan site is located in the Badang-Jiran Desert in the westernmost part of Inner Mongolia. This area sees less than 40 millimeters of rainfall a year, compared to around 4,000 millimeters of lost water or evaporation over the same period. In addition to its arid climate, it also endures sandstorms. The sky suddenly turned pitch black around midday. I turned my head and saw the sandstorm rolling towards us like a moving mountain. The sound of sand hitting the car was like the sound of grinding wheels. It lasted for more than 20 minutes, and once the sandstorm had passed, the sky gradually brightened. When I looked outside again, the back of the car was completely silver, with all the green paint stripped off. We have been working in Juyan for almost 7 years, and incidents like this happen frequently. It can be said that each piece of the Juyan Han Jian was a challenge to obtain. The Juyan Han Jian touch on such topics as the politics, military, economy, and culture of the time, as well as people's daily lives during the Han Dynasty. Therefore, they can be considered as an encyclopedia of the Han Dynasty. These wooden slabs have left us with a wealth of information, including the names of many of our ancestors, like the countless stars in the sky. These people lived in Juyan 2,000 years ago, and they recorded the trivialities of life on these Jian. They could never have imagined that these official documents, account books, and casual writings would transcend 2,000 years and reappear in the 21st century, showing us what daily life was like for most Chinese people during the Han Dynasty.
Thank you, Professor Wei, for your excellent speech. I truly believe that we should first and foremost express our sincere respect to all archaeologists. I'm sure you have told the story of the excavation of the Juyan Han Jian on many occasions. Do you have a different feeling as you share the story on this stage?
Indeed, it is quite different. The characters on these unearthed Han Jian have undergone changes in form over the years. From this process, one can truly feel the deep cultural accumulation they represent. It is not just about recognizing the characters and writing them beautifully. I believe there is a deeper essence embedded within them, a spiritual essence that is unique to the Chinese people. This profound sense of spirit is something we should not forget.
Thank you again, Professor Wei. On October 28, 2022, when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited the Yin ruins, he mentioned that the formation and development of the Chinese nation cannot be separated from the preservation of Chinese characters. What are your thoughts on this?
President Xi referred to the oracle bone inscriptions unearthed in the Ying ruins. The discovery of these oracle bone inscriptions effectively extended China's recorded history by 1,000 years. From the perspective of archaeological discovery, we found symbols that are more than just oracle bone inscriptions. For example, the Taosi site in Shanxi unearthed symbols that are over 4,000 years old. The Jiahu site in Henan also has symbols that date back 8,000 to 9,000 years. Therefore, you can say that Chinese characters are like the fossils of Chinese civilization. Fossils may seem dead, but Chinese characters are not. On one hand, they're the fossils of Chinese civilization, whereas on the other hand, they're the eternal flame that continues to develop Chinese civilization. This flame has now become a torch in our hands.
以居延汉奸为代表的一大批
The large number of bamboo and wooden slips that comprise the Juyan Han Jian present us with the most authentic state of writing at that time. Before this, when we talked about the clerical script from the Han Dynasty, we were referring to inscriptions on stone steles. Stone steles were created in a very solemn and serious manner. They were very refined. However, the Juyan Han Jian are different. They reveal the most authentic state of daily writing at that time. The brushstrokes are relatively simple and plain. All of the brushstrokes in the Juyan Han Jian can be divided into 3 categories. The first category is wavy lines. The second is curved lines. And the third is close to straight lines. What is particularly interesting is the third category. When we observed it carefully, we found that it still resembles the shape of waves. Why is that? Because this is more convenient for writing continuous script. This is the typical form of brushstroke for clerical script. With the discovery of the Juyan Han Jian and our observation of them, we have filled in an important blank in the history of calligraphy and the development of brushwork in China.
听了魏教授的介绍，有很多的收获。
I learned a lot by listening to Professor Wei's speech. The clerical script originated and was developed during the Han Dynasty. During this period, we can see that the main materials used to make texts were bamboo and wooden slips. They provided ample space for the expression of calligraphy. Therefore, the formation of this clerical script can be regarded as a key starting point in the art of calligraphy.
For the final exercise today, we invite calligraphy enthusiasts to write their hopes and goals for the future on some bamboo slips. These have now been placed on the table, so let's select a few. Study harder and go home more often. Whose wish is this?
Hello everyone, my name is Hong Yu. I'm currently studying at the calligraphy department of Beijing Normal University. As a graduate student, I cherish the opportunity to study very much, so giving it my all is definitely the most important thing for me. But at the same time, I also hope I can go home often to see my family.
It's wonderful to frequently return home. It's a beautiful wish for many people. Let's choose another one. I noticed the word calligraphy on one of the bamboo slips. Excel and improve in the art of calligraphy. Whose wish is this?
My name is Liu Wenwen. I work at the Han District Cultural Center in Beijing. In my future calligraphy studies, I hope to always follow my dreams, just like the excitement I felt over 30 years ago when I first picked up a brush to write. I believe that as long as life continues, writing will continue to progress and develop.
Well said. You have expressed the true passion of all calligraphy enthusiasts. Chinese calligraphy is constantly innovating and developing as an art form. It has been used to record the most wonderful stories from all around China, and these stories continue to live on through our brushes.